This video, I'm going to show you how to fix one of these. This is a 1656 loco. It's from the immediate post-war period. This particular one is from 48 or so, because the tender says 6403B on the bottom. It's got the wrong truck on here, this one, because it shouldn't have, as a 6400 number, it should not have the sliding shoe. Or no, it has to have the sliding shoe, because that's what works this front coupler. So why it's a 6403B, I don't know. Well, because I know they changed the number when they went to the magnetic trucks rather than the coil trucks. But anyway, this engine, which I just bought from the original owner's son, it's got quite a bit of scaling in here. See this? This is all, it's like scaling. I don't know if it'll come off, but we'll see what we can do with that. Sometimes compounding. Some people like to put WD-40 on it or oil, but that attracts dirt. This engine has had both of the marker lights have been fixed. There's glue all in here. You see that? Right? But the good news is that this is whole. Right? So on an engine like this, if I bought this and this cab was broken, which is a common break point, these are the things that you look at when you go to buy one of these, is the cab, the marker lights. The headlight sometimes gets smashed. This will either be missing the steps or broken, and then this will be broken. This is very difficult to rewire if the wire coming off that orange coil up in there is broken. And this piece here, by itself, this piece will sell for $45, $50 on eBay if it's whole. So that's one of the things. If it's missing, you're going to have to depreciate the value of what you pay. All right, these both look pretty good. This is the post-war version. So basically with this, if the E unit works, which is up in here, you can see the lever right here. If the E unit works, there's a good chance that this will run, because somebody has cleaned and fixed this in the past couple of years, or 15, 20 years. Here's the tender. The tender's all metal. As a post-war tender, it has white lettering on it. There's a light in here, operating coupler on the back. The drawbar is special for this in that it bends, I think, or somebody bent one up. No, it's right. So it's kind of weird looking. It's a long drawbar instead of coming straight out. And this has a bell in it. It's a mechanical bell. This is an on-off for the bell. So there's actually a heater strip in there. And then when this is turned on, the heater strip heats up and then makes contact and goes ding, and that turns it off. Oh, all right, that's the deal with this drawbar, is that before, in the pre-war one, there was a post right here on this little knob that stuck out right up here, and there was a drawbar that went out this into there. All right, so anyway, this is what the engine should look like, and I'm going to go through and see if it works. I'll get my roller table out. Now these two wires right here, these have been rewired, and it's not super flex wire, but it's good enough. With these wires, there's two terminals in the back of here. One goes to this front coupler, that's this wire here, and goes back to the truck and is connected to this coil back here, to this pickup. The other one goes from this roller right here up through the switch and then out the front. That way this engine has the two pickups here plus this pickup way in the back. And that means that it won't stall going through switches. But if this has been rewired correctly, when you set the engine down like this, they line up. So you do the left with the left and the right with the right. And that goes on there like that. You don't need to put them together to put them on here, but I will. Put this on the roller thing. But one other thing you want to look at when you're looking at these is this stuff. These are specific to this engine, so a little harder to find. And if these are bent, this one here and this one here, it can be difficult to find those. So if these are bent or damaged. What is it sitting there? So let's see if it runs. The bell works. This actually runs quite well. So for this, I'm just going to do a basic tune-up, disconnect those, so that you guys can see what I do. And what I'm going to do is find my oil right here, and I'm going to oil this right here. Armature shaft, other end of the armature, 2 gear points up here. And I'm going to oil this. And I need to put it back on the track and connect and test the couplers. And then I want to try to get rid of some of this dirt on here. Done. Can you see the couplers? You can't. Let me move it this way. See if this coupler works. Let's head and check the coupler. Connect in here. It doesn't work. And they do work. I have this tester hooked up here with the wire right there. You can see this jumper. So I was trying to just make this work. But they do work. So the coupler works. And if I go like this, it'll run for a while. Alright, don't need power anymore. Bulbs are working. Now for this kind of dirt right here, I want to take a toothbrush first and just try to get it off. And then this is my alcohol. If you watch me do some other fixing, I have just the rubbing alcohol. Yeah, that's not taking that off. Do this. Yeah, that's not working. Other stuff I got this. This Howard's Feeding Wax. This is orange oil and beeswax. Squirt some on there. Try this. Because with this, I can buff this out and it'll all leave. So if this is some kind of waxy buildup in here, this beeswax stuff will remove the waxy buildup. But it doesn't, it's the same thing. It doesn't appear to be doing anything to clean it up. There's a fresh toothbrush. It's doing nothing. Although, with the wax on it, it doesn't seem to look as bad. It's still got that scale on it. But it doesn't look as bad as it did. So I might just put that on there. And that might hide some of this, the glue that was up here. Give it a little more of a sheen. I know people that do this with all their trains, and I don't like it. This is just something that somebody will buy for me to run on the layout. They'll want it to look good, and so it'll look fairly good. See, nothing's removing this. This is just, whatever it is what it is. So I got these brushes. I've had these for decades. Look at how it's all busted or mushroomed up. And then this is just a shoe shine brush. And I'm going to buff the wax off with this, wipe off some with the towel that I have right here. And then I'm going to buff it off with that. And then cosmetically, that's all I'm going to do because I don't want it to be greasy. So what I'm going to do is wipe this where it's really wet down with this. Because whatever that is, it's either stained or maybe something was from something being spilled on it. It doesn't appear to be the castings. It's just something's damaged. See, and this just, as soon as I do it, you still have those rough areas. See, and it just come right back as soon as I do this. So if this was an HO or an N-gauge engine or something, be a great candidate for somebody that would weather it, but we don't weather our Lionel trains. And then one last thing to do on this is to clean the commutator right there. And I have a stick for that. This is a fiberglass stick, and I can just stick it in here like this, and then turn that, and you see how much shinier that is now, where I just cleaned that. And that's good enough. It's already running. This is just something I'll sell, and it'll work. So it's a nice little engine. If you had one of these and wanted to just service it, that's what you do. If the reverse wasn't working on it, I'll have a video sometime in the future on how to do E-units. But this one's working, so it's not worth taking it apart. That's one of the things that I think is very important for you, is that if the train isn't broken, if it's working, just oil it, clean the commutator. If it's not running well, then by all means take the brushes out and put new brushes in, or clean the brushes. But for the majority of the time, the trains that I see where people have ruined them are from them taking them apart and trying to put them back together, or taking them apart and then leaving them in pieces because they need to order something or they lost a brush. So you're always better off not doing something.